What's up, guys? This is Rise. I'm a little bit late on this video, but we recently had a really nice run on stream where we went positive for all 5 of our sets in a single day. I think we had 2 4-1s and 3 3-2s. We took this team of Empoleon, Azumarill, and Turtonator from Ficht, a viewer of the channel and a popular submission artist on our channel. We showcase his spicy battles quite frequently, and he sent us this team that we tried out featuring Flash Cannon Turtonator in the Fantasy Cup, and it did really well for us. It performed really well, it was super consistent, and I actually have a screenshot of not where it got me exactly, but where I am today on the Go Battle League leaderboard. I'm at 3345, and this team really kind of like set the tone. I've kind of been hovering around the same spot the past few days with some pretty crazy queue times. So this team helped me reach all the way to number 8, I believe, at the peak on the Go Battle League leaderboard. And here I have just one set for you to kind of showcase how the team got started off and we got things going. And it was very much in this constricted meta, a lot of the same sort of stuff. But this is how things started off with a bang. Turtonator gonna find this Berserker here. I knew that Berserker was oftentimes running Trailblaze Foul Play, so I didn't bother committing a shield here, and I actually am able to withstand the Trailblaze, or call the Trailblaze rather. So it doesn't do much damage, and then this is where you're gonna see Flash Cannon come in handy. I actually make a mistake there. I do another Incinerate. I was already at 100 energy, I believe, so no reason to do another Incinerate, really. Kind of a wasted attack there. Go for another Flash Cannon. If you're running the standard Flamethrower or Overheat as opposed to Flash Cannon, you get completely walled by the Azumarill, versus look at how much damage Turtonator is doing to this Azumarill. Turtonator basically just took out 2 full Pokemon on its own, and now that Azumarill is gone, we're just going to come in with our own. We were expecting them to maybe instantly swap, but it's their own Empoleon, and now it's basically the mirror match, right? Except our Azu is way healthier than their Azu, so I'm just comfortable staying in at this point, doing as much damage as I can with my own Azumarill, and then keeping shields for my own Empoleon in the end game to try and close this game out. Shiny Empoleon for Jocko Loco is going to try and put on a fight here, and I'm actually going to go for the Hydro Pump here immediately and guarantee the shield or the big damage, and then swap into my own Empoleon. I was kind of debating what does more, like a Hydro Cannon or a potential Hydro Pump from Azu. I decided to shield the Hydro Cannon from Empoleon since I know it has such a high attack stat compared to Azumarill. I figured it was probably similar damage, and then I decided to take this because I didn't think Azu really had that much energy. So I take this Azu, and then at this point I probably commit a shield. Yeah, I commit a shield just to play it safe. Don't want to put myself into like a bubble down situation. Get the farm down. And that is a G to the G to start things off. On to the next one. Nearly lock in with the wrong team. That's something I do whenever I like switch from one team to another. We did a few games or a few sets with that Skarmory Double Dragon team. That team had a little bit of success before we switched things up. Skarmory Double Dragon felt a little bit toxic at times when you play such like a hard ABB style line. Tough lead here into S-Cav, so we're going to immediately pivot, I would presume, into Azumarill. S-Cavalier is going to stay in momentarily. And this could be like an Acid Spray, right? I think S-Cavalier tends to run Acid Spray in this meta, and there it is. They're going to debuff us. Then they come in with their own Azumarill. But this does create a desync in the switch timer, so we might try and use that to our advantage if possible. So we're going to stay in here. 2 charge attacks have already been thrown, so usually... It's not exactly, but usually with the amount of time it takes to get to a charge attack, it comes out to about 4 charge attacks for the switch timer to come up, because it's a minute, right? So if each charge attack animation takes about 10 seconds, between the time it takes to get to those charge attacks, it usually comes out to about 4 charge attacks for the switch timer to come up. So I'm playing aggressively here. I swap in Empoleon, and I'm going to hold on to this energy because I know S-Cav is going to come back. So I come in with Empoleon. Hold on to the energy. I'm hoping maybe I can get to double Hydro here. And unfortunately, I'm not able to. But they are locked in. So I'm going to come in with the Turtonator. The Terminator. And Turtonator the Terminator. We're going to respect the drill run. We do shield it correctly. Expecting maybe a Zoomerl to come in here. And it does. I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse here to threaten the knockout. It is resisted, but it should... Oh, it's actually not enough, but one bubble is enough after. And it's actually a Wigglytuff in the back. Now, I wasn't sure if I went for Hydro Pump, if I would get to another move. So I decided to go for the Play Rough here to try and guarantee getting to 2 moves. I do get the Shield. And then this Play Rough... yeah, I'm able to get the Play Rough. I was kind of eyeing if I could get to the Hydro, but doesn't look like it. So I go for the Play Rough here right before going down. And now I'm going to... Okay spot. Disarming Voice, though, hits for neutral, remember? So this is going to be close. Do I get to a charge attack? Turtonator's pretty bulky, hanging onto the charms, and we get to a Dragon Pulse. And we're going to win this game where we landed 2 Dragon Pulses on 2 Fairy-type Pokemon in a pretty awkward situation. So a fun little game there where a Dragon Pulse knocked out a Wigglytuff to win the game. You don't see that too often. But Turtonator is a very fun Pokemon that I've enjoyed using. It's got that unique Dragon Fire typing. It's also quite bulky for a Dragon. Dragon-type Pokemon are typically more attack-weighted. Turtonator a little bit bulkier than a lot of other Dragon types. And we see Empoleon against D-Nair here. I figure Switch Advantage could be important, right? With a Dragonair lead... They might have some Azumarill coverage in the back, so I do want to try and win Switch Advantage here. So I'm going to commit the Protect Shield and then go for the Farm Down. And I'm kind of hoping that Azumarill comes in. Azumarill's so common in this meta. Azumarill does come in. This is perfect, and we are perfectly content just staying in here. Chipping away as much as possible, and then eventually, once we go down, coming in with our own Azumarill to soak up the energy. Empoleon chipping away. Going for another Drill Peck here. Not the best timing, theoretically, but I wanted to make sure I got this move off before they threw a move at me. And look at how much damage our Empoleon just did to this Azumarill. We come in with our own. Content just absorbing this damage on our own Azumarill. Play Rough connects. And looks like they're going to bank energy, and they come in with Bastiodon. So this is a little bit weird, right? Because we've been chipped on Azumarill. But we do have the Hydro Pumps. That's huge. And I'm debating, like, do I just completely stay in and go for, like, an Incinerate down? Or do I switch here? I'm going for the Hydro Pump. This is going to grab the final shield. I do believe Basti has a little extra energy, so I think they are going to get to the Stone Edge right before I get to this charge attack here. I guess I could have thrown immediately, but I didn't think it was going to KO. I didn't think Dragon Pulse was going to KO at that point in time. Maybe it would have, but I didn't think it would, so I did the extra Incinerate. But luckily, one Incinerate KOs Azu before the second bubble was enough. So that was like such a close game. So many things had to go right in winning that game. We had to barely live the Stone Edge, barely live that one bubble afterwards, and the one Incinerate had to barely KO. So that was like a game where IVs mattered a ton, and things really had to go out in our favor. Sometimes you have to be a little bit lucky where things have to barely knock out Pokemon, where a game easily could have gone the other direction if it wasn't for that happening, right? So, G to the G. Empoleon Mirror Match, March of the Penguins. And this Shadow Empoleon looking very menacing. Gonna hit us with a Hydro Cannon. I have found in this cup that sometimes Switch Advantage is important. So sometimes what I was doing is I would let the first one go, and then I wouldn't throw my next one right away in case I lost charge attack priority. I would actually go for the extra and then over farm. And that way I could kind of dictate a little bit more. Sometimes they'd be content just letting this go. I go for the Drill Peck in case they decide to catch. And then I forget, maybe I go for like a swap here into Azu. They don't seem to mind dumping energy here. Oh, and I remember this. They actually they live that bubble with 1 HP, and they get to another Drill Peck. This is pretty devastating. That's a lot of extra damage to get off on a Azumarill. And now I don't think I'm even going to reach 2 charge attacks, so I'm just going for the 1 Hydro Pump here. Hydro Pump does some big damage. We are going to make sure we wait out our full switch clock here so we're not locked in against anything we don't want to be if possible. Coming with Turtonator, and it is Giratina. Do not love this situation at all. But we're not going to give up yet. And I get baited with Ominous Wind. That is brutal. And they boost. Even more brutal. So now Dragon Pulse. Not going to be enough. And I go for like a cheeky catch. I waited 2 Shadow Claws to like try and catch the Shadow Ball. But yeah, it's game over. If they didn't boost, I think I would have won. I think I would have been able to simply go for another Dragon Pulse there and win the game. But it's on to the next one. Looks like this next game got cut off a little bit. So I think what happened was we probably won the lead, maybe into an Azumarill or something, and then they swapped Turtonator, and we counter-swapped Azumarill. So we are in a counter-swap situation where we met their Turtonator safe swap with our own Azumarill, and they have now committed both shields. And, oh, you know what? I think it was actually like a Wigglytuff lead. I think I remember this, because I was thinking, like, their Wiggly has nowhere to go. So I'm perfectly fine with taking a 2 shield advantage. I am going to commit 1 shield back here, but I know the Wigglytuff has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I'm going to overfarm a bunch here, get rid of this Turtonator, and I know they're not going to come in with Wiggles, right? If that is indeed what it was. And here comes Magnezone. And oh man, they're going to be in for a rude awakening when they see that Wigglytuff does not have a good matchup in the back. Although it's a dragon, it's a fire dragon with a steel move. And the Flash Cannon's going to really come in handy here. Going to completely decimate the Wigglytuff. 1 Incinerate is all it takes to melt the Magnezone. And that is a G to the G. This is one of the more fun teams, to be honest, that I can remember using this season. Partially because Turtonator is quite unique. You don't see it too often. And it's like legitimately good in this meta with its unique typing and its unique moveset. As well as Empoleon's a fan favorite. And Azumarill, I mean, one of my personal favorites. One that I am a long-time fan of. 3178 was the elo there. That was our first set of the day of this, and I think we have one final battle here, which was the start of the second set of the day. And this was a day where we had 5 consecutive positive sets that I think left us like around the 3300 elo mark. This was a pretty crazy day on stream. And if you guys want to interact with me live on Twitch, feel free to go check me out over there. Link's always in the description of these videos. Final battle of the video here. Empoleon mirror match yet again. They're rocking the Shadow. I still don't have a very good Shadow Empoleon. I would love to get one. I'd love to have one. Shadow Empoleon can be extremely oppressive, extremely menacing, especially with energy. Can really core break a lot of teams as well. They're going to fire off a Hydro Cannon here. Do I go for a catch? They go for the catch. And I decide that I'm content just staying in here. So that's what I'm going to do. Going to stay in with Empoleon. And I think at this point in the game, I may already be making the read that it's Giratina in the back, because we had seen this lineup before, right? We had seen Empoleon, Azumarill, Giratina. So I almost thought about like coming in with I'd almost thought about coming in with Turtonator to like get some energy if it is Giratina. But we decided not to. We come in with Azumarill instead. And does that end up being a mistake? I'm not sure. Let's see. They come back in with Emp. I swap Turtonator. Gonna put up a shield here. This would do a lot of damage. Hydro Cannon grabs a shield, and we were correct. It is the Giratina. Gonna throw after 3. This is probably gonna grab the first Protect shield. They are at 8 Shadow Claws. And I think at this point in the game, I was kind of hoping like a bait might be my win con. Because I was thinking like, if I shield a Shadow Ball, he can simply shield over farm a lot. And it puts me in a really bad spot where I probably get outpaced anyway. Maybe, yeah, maybe shielding was still the play, but I don't know. I think I was kind of dead in the water there. I think if I shielded, got off the Dragon Pulse, he could overfarm so much where I was just in a bad spot and probably would have just needed to Ominous Wind the Turtonator anyway. So I think we top left it at that point since he had the Shadow Ball and then still a little bit of health on the Empoleon. There you have it. Turtonator, Empoleon, Azumarill, a team created by Fict. So shout out to him for the very fun team suggestion that we ran on stream for an entire day. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. Send me your battles. Links always in the description. Fill out the quick Google form. And I'm always appreciative that you guys take the time to send me your battles. And all that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.